Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. I'm going to give people a few moments to get on here. As our lovely moderator was telling us, sometimes to get the notifications to go live, you have to go back and check your bell, check your alarms. So that's just a reminder, but if you're here, you already have your reminder. Hello, Suncatcher. How are you, darling? Drop a word because you were on the last one, so you got a nice intention and all that kind of stuff. This is really a follow-up. Hello, Millicent. This is a follow-up from our August 8th Lionsgate. So hello, Vivi's on here. And so all the things that happened last time, the intentions that we came to, all those beautiful words and beautiful energies. I want to know, yes, I have a cold. How do you know? I must sound nasally. Hey, Holistic Warrior Arts, Aaron's in the house. I do. So, like I said, this is just a follow-up from last time with our Lion's Gate, but we're having a whole new message because last time we were looking at our intention for what we wanted to bring forward into our new life. And this time, as we go through, we're going to be doing health, home, and harmony readings. If you recall, health, home, and harmony were what came up during our last live when we were talking about, hey, Deb, when we were talking about the planetary alignments and Sirius and Mercury retrograde, all that stuff happening. We came to those three H's, the triple H's, health, home, and harmony. So today we're actually going to do health, home, and harmony readings now that you have your intention for the life you want to create moving forward and how to make that, how to integrate that into your physical body for your health, into your home, and into your emotional space. And I have a cold. So here in a little bit, I'm having our astrologer, who I introduced last time, come in and tell us why everything's been crazy this week. I have had so many clients say that they haven't been able to sleep this week, that when they do, they just wake up instantly, that things have just been crazy, emotionally crazy, sick, crazy, all kinds of stuff. Crazy. So she's going to come on. And it has nothing to do with Sirius, nothing to do with Mercury retrograde, but she did say that there were 3 planets who were absolutely responsible for this. So she'll be on in a little bit to get us rolling with all of that. Now, last time I introduced our beautiful moderator, and she came on and talked a little bit about her Akashic readings and her animal communication and her animal Reiki, but we didn't ever drop her email. So Vivi, if you don't mind dropping your email in there for all of these lovely people to be able to reach you if they want to book with you or find out more about you, that way they can contact you. And we would love, hello, Sunny Intuition. Hello. You guys are excusing my cough today. Squeeze it. So when we get her email in here, you guys will have that information. There it is, vhaller555@gmail.com. I also want to mention any new stuff coming up at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center, as you may or may not know, we've been building this community for a little while now, for since December of 2022, I think. So we've been going for not quite 2 years, trying to raise money to build a spiritual retreat center. And we have our channel because we're building community. We are building a heart home for everybody. When we say welcome home as a slogan, it's not just welcome to where you feel comfortable. It's not just welcome to where you feel accepted. It's not just welcome to where there's other like-minded people to you. Your home is something that can't really be explained. Your home is something that can only be felt and experienced. So when you are welcomed home, when you come home, you are learning how to love and accept yourself and build your home within your own body. And this is what we aim to do through all of our sessions, through all of our teachings, through all of our lives where we get to connect and be together. This is what we're actually looking to do. So you know that we've been trying to get this retreat thing going for a little while now. And I have whispered about it, a 2025 thing. So I'm going to continue whispering about it. There will be no soft nor hard launch until later in the year or possibly the beginning of next year. But just know that we have some wonderful things in the works. It's going to be amazing. So save your energy, save your time, save your excitement, because something is coming. And Erin, when are we going to announce this? Because I feel like her and I talked about it, and for the closed community, meaning clients, subscribers, we're thinking about, I know, I can't wait either. I'm thinking we're going to soft launch just to clients and subscribers December-ish, November. What did we decide, Erin? I think we decided November, December, and then a hard launch January, February, because what we want to do is let Susan Lynn's event get underway, because I am speaking at Susan Lynn's event, the Connect to Empower 2 event in Colorado this year. And if you don't have tickets to that, go to her website, make sure that you get tickets. And if she's sold out already, send her an email letting her know that you want to be on her waiting list. That's the link right there. Thank you, Vivi. And tell her you want to be added to the waiting list, and then she can get you on that. So if somebody cancels last minute or if something comes up, then you can go ahead and slide right in that space. It's an amazing thing. There's 5 different speakers that are going to be there. Me, Susan, obviously, who is the queen of comedy. We love a psychic comedian. And then there's also going to be Efefe, who's so wonderful and sensual. And Donna's going to be there talking about animals and power animals. And that's going to be lots of fun. And Sybil, the inner child warrior, she's going to be there with her pendulum talks. So we are going to get this going first, make sure everyone can super focus on that event. And then we'll talk about our events that we're planning. And Erin commented that she thinks we decided November. So around November, December, we'll give you guys some more information about that. We just want to get through this October event so that everybody gets their full focus, their full attention, and their full energy where it needs to be. So that being said, let's get on to some health, home, and harmony readings until our astrologer can be here. Who would like a health, home, or harmony reading? All you have to do is drop your question. It doesn't have to be specific, like this is about my health, or specific, this is about my home, but really any question that comes up to you or that you decide you're wanting to know is probably going to fall in one of these things, your physical body or your emotions or your home space. So I'm going to get some water and I have some tea. It's interesting because I have my tea, my mullein yarrow, and what else do I put in here? I don't know. My sick tea to dry everything up, but then my throat gets so dry, I have to have my huge jug of water to counteract it. It's not nasty. It's really, really good, guys. Okay, so who was first? I think that was Suncatcher. Let's do Suncatcher and we'll come back to Sunny Intuition. Let's see. And I have 2 decks here also. So I get to choose. Now, if you guys have any specific questions, make sure that you write that in there as well. Because we want to answer specific questions, or even if there was a question you had last time that we didn't get to and we didn't get to answer, bring that in there. Let's see, Suncatcher. Oh, they say you get 2 decks. They want you to have both decks. So I'm using my Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, which is my favorite deck to use. That's the one I used last time as well. But then I also have my Good Tarot deck, by Colette Baron Reed. And I think she's great. So Colette Baron Reed does this deck, but Colette Baron Reed and Alberto Vialdo do this deck. So I like them. Water, so emotional stuff going on. Now, this card came out first, the crossing, the initiation. So obviously, this has been going on for you for a minute, where you are going through your initiation, your spiritual initiation, crossing into something bigger, you're ascending, going into other things. But then it was followed up with this card, which is the Page of Water. Isn't it cute? It's like a half child. Anyways, but when we're looking at the Page of Water, this is really about your open-heartedness, your childlike innocence, curiosity, the beginning of intimacy and relationships, the beginning of relationships during that fun pink cloud era, playfulness, cheerful optimism. So this goes two ways. One way it goes is that as you go through your initiation, you start to become more and more childlike, playful, and can kind of release all of the stress that you're going through and relax into your new life. But it can go the other way too, where you have gone through a lot of healing and relaxed into your new life. And as you ascend and as you go higher and get into those realms, you're doing it because of your ability to have childlike innocence. You're doing it because of your ability to be playful, to be at ease, to live in simpleness, letting everything be new every single day, just really bringing back that childlike wonder. So this is beautiful. And this to me feels like a harmony reading. This feels like emotionally, spiritually, we're moving forward, we're getting our inner child going. But something keeps telling me that this is also related to your health. Excuse me. So do you have any health stuff that you are healing through is my question, because this feels like you are about to transcend some health stuff or have a physical breakthrough of some sort. And as you do, it's going to help you be more childlike and playful in your physical body. So joints, muscles, whatever that looks like, this is also physical for you. Love that. But that's not everything. Hold on. There's lots of things coming in, lots of people coming in. There's an energy here or an essence here, and it feels like a sibling energy. Now, this doesn't mean that you had a sister who passed or anything like that, but the energy itself feels like a sister or feels like a younger sibling, like 11 to 13-year-old kind of sibling. And been focusing on being healthy. Good. So with this energy, it feels like it's coming from the spirit side, not necessarily as a guide, but it feels like a spirit friend. And that's a little different for me because I don't see a whole lot of just spirit friends that hang around. But you have a spirit friend who has been with you for about a month now. And this spirit friend is just helping you feel like you have someone to play with. It's not about being alone or not alone. It's just about feeling like you have someone to play with when you're ready to play. Because she's reminding you that you can play with nature, that you can play with the animals, that you can play with anything that the wind blows, as flowers bend and sway, that you can bend and sway with the flowers. She's just reminding you of all that playfulness. So I get the sense that she's probably going to be with you for another month or so, helping really stabilize this in, maybe even leaving late October, early November. So maybe that's going to be around the time that you make new connections, like new physical on this earth kind of connections. So we have some new friends coming. Are you planning to attend that retreat in October or that conference? I'm curious, because if so, then this might be where you're picking up some new friends so that this little childlike spirit um, feels comfortable enough to leave you in your playfulness and go on its way. All right, there was one, I think, before the sun catcher. I think it was Sunny Intuition. There we go. Let's bring her up. Thank you so much, Suncatcher, for letting us read with you. You did go last year. I do remember that, yes. But not this year. Well, there's going to be someone coming, whether this is like through groups or whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to be there, of course. Sunny is coming this year, I believe you said. So let's get you read. And if you have a specific question about anything, I feel like there's something. Do you have a job? Because I feel like there's something coming up with jobs. Whoop. Okay. Tell me about your job, Sunny. The first card I pulled is the groupthink card. With this card, most of the time when I get this card, and I'm actually feeling the same way now, it feels like where we have a group of people, right? And they all think and believe certain ways. And so we get inundated with the way that they think and feel and what they need from us in order to feel safe. So this feels like that. This feels like you have a whole lot of people around you who think and feel certain ways. They're inundating you with this. It might feel overwhelming or feel like a lot, or even feel like it's dampening down who you are, or like you have to hide who you are because of these things. But then the second card I got is the Moon Maiden. And this is just your new beginnings. So somehow you're going to be able to not just break free of that. I don't even feel like it's a break free kind of thing. I just get the sense that it's a opening of freedom to be who you are, however you want to be. It feels like an inner glow that begins to happen naturally, where you just feel comfortable saying what you think and how you feel in front of anybody, and just knowing that you have such a deep inner acceptance and love for yourself that other people have that same acceptance and love for you also. Because when you love and respect yourself, other people love and respect you too. So loving and respecting your own opinions, having self-trust is going to really bring that about from other people around you. How does that fit in? Give me a comment about that. Hello, Marty B. I love ya. Everybody remember to tell my husband hello. Mart in the house, huh? Good. Good. So you pulled the heart home card as well, Sunny, but this feels like it is this feels like you have a starseed guide or alien guide that has come through. And I don't feel like they're super new, but they have new information at this time. So this is someone who's been around with you before a bit, but what they're bringing is specifically healing and opening to the heart. So for you, that inner glow and self-acceptance and just being able to be yourself no matter where you are is coming from your heart. It's not something that's going to come from your head or from any other chakra. It's coming straight from your heart. It's a love thing, a self-love thing. And this little alien, I believe it's Arcturian that's coming through, this little Arcturian that's coming through is helping you with your communication. So as you open that heart space up, you come into your heart home, your compassion, your love, opening all of that up, you're going to want to communicate that to the people around you. And like I said, say what you want to say, all of those things. And this, I want to say creature, alien, this Arcturian is going to be helping you open up that channel of communication. I keep feeling like you have a specific question about home or a family member. So if you do, go ahead and type that in and let me know. And in the meantime, we'll move on to the next person. Hello, Deb. Deb. All right, let's back up 1 second. My dad. Sunny says her dad's coming up. Yeah, because there is something about a family member that's coming up specifically. I feel like your dad is going through, it feels like his energy is going stop. So it feels like he's going through a scrubbing process or a cleansing process here, where he has a lot going on through the cleansing. Now, between those cleansings, when it stops, because it's stops. So during the stop moments, I feel lots of love coming towards you, like he's trying to remind you how wonderful you are, how much he loves and cares about you. He wants you to express yourself fully. And he also has deep feelings of gratitude for you. Something about land and your home. Do you live near your ancestral home? These readings are getting so specific all of a sudden to be doing this online. Hello, Miss Penelope. Hello, Savvy Wolf. Bree is also on our website if anybody wants to hit up the Savvy Wolf. She's a great little card reader there. So whatever's coming up from him, he's going through a cleansing process. There's lots of love coming through, but there's also something about your ancestral home. So I don't know if you live far away from where you were born or far away from where you grew up, but there's something about the land near your ancestral home that's kind of calling you back to your roots. And this could mean a couple of different things, depending, it could be where we're really releasing the past and coming into a deeper understanding as we break free and become a more authentic self. But it could just be like a visit, or that the land wants to connect with you. So if California keeps coming up, maybe that's a place that you just need to take a little trip to, just visit. Good. Okay, Dad's gone. He says, yep, that's it. Let's go. So I think we just need to do a little visit and connect in with some spaces there. Thank you, Sunny. All right. Back to Deb. California. That's a good song. It's a good song. Okay, Deb, let's pull a couple cards for you. Do you have any specific questions? I watched this TikTok and it said that the way that American people just randomly break out into English accents, that English people randomly break out into American accents also. And that really tickled me because whenever I do it, I sometimes feel like it's inappropriate because I'm not from England. But when they said that, it made me feel less inappropriate. So now I feel like I can break out however I want to. Sammy, we're waiting for you whenever you want to come in. After I do this one particular reading for Deb, you can come in and talk about those things if you want to. Okay. Now you pulled the Two of Air and the Temptation card. Let me see. So all right, Deb, this feels like a conflict. Okay. So let me know if your heart and your knees. Yes, absolutely. But your heart and your knees, that is a side effect of whatever this conflict is. So the Two of Air This shows us where there is some sort of conflict. This is duality. So this is either a conflict between two choices that you have, or a conflict between like your spiritual and physical self, between being spiritual, getting answers to guidance, stuff like that, or just being grounded and down to earth and things like that. So there is some sort of duality happening. And this could even be, no, it's not. I was going to say with relationships, but it's not that. It's not. This is about you having choices to make, and you being uncertain which one to make or which way to step forward, or being too into the spiritual and not grounded enough, or too grounded and not spiritual enough. There's something there that's flopping back and forth inside of you. But then we pulled the temptation card on top of that. Now, when we get the temptation card, this talks about attachment. What are we becoming attached to? We can be attached to physical things. We can be attached to physical people. We can be attached to outcomes, results, whatever kind of stuff like that we want. So the key here is to come back to your heart space for sure. So if you're concerned about the heart and knees, we know these are physical issues. So we're talking about your health here as a health reading. But understand that your health, these places in your body that are hurting, are simply side effects of the issue in the inner war that you already have. So the knees, they hurt when we're being a little stubborn and not letting ourselves move forward in the way that we know we need to move forward. And the heart, if we have issues with the heart, a lot of different things could be happening. This could be from heartbreak, from being closed-hearted, from feeling hurt, needing to protect ourselves all the time. There could be a lot going on with the heart specifically. But I feel like this can be resolved. It's just a matter of complete inner love, inner acceptance. And once again, going back to the last reading that we had, letting yourself be authentically who you want to be without worrying about what anybody else thinks, and not worrying about the outcome of things as well. Be unattached to the outcomes. So I think I'm going to send you a little bit of heart energy first off to help ease your physical heart and open that space up. And then the rest should take care of itself as you allow this conflict to resolve inside of yourself. And if you have any specific questions about that, just let me know as well. So let me just send you some energy here. And you've got those aliens coming in to help work, some angels coming in to help work. Okay, we're all good, Deb. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Who's next? This energy, Lauren. We have an astrologer who's going to be coming on here as soon as she gets the chance to in the next few minutes. And she's going to explain all of these dang planets because it's too much for me. But I know this question, what is going on with this energy? This is the question I've been asking all week. And all of my clients have been asking me too. People aren't sleeping. There's a lot going on. As you might notice, I have like only the right side of my sinuses are filled. There's been a lot. And we know that we just came through Lionsgate and Mercury retrogrades happening, but it's not that. It's something else. So we're going to let her answer that question a little bit, but I will pull you a card in the meantime. Because you know I love you, Lauren. Lauren, girl, you know I love you. You and your kitty. Pretty kitty. We've got the 7 of water, the 7 of water, the 7 of water. You made me sing a song. So cute. So with the 7 of water, once again, this is the emotional space. And with the emotional space, if you really look at all of these little things around her head, these are fish swimming around her head. That's her imagination. That is her fantasy and all of her co-creative abilities unleashed. So whatever is happening with this energy, which will be explained in a little bit, what it is saying is that it is unleashing things inside of you. whatever has been held back, whatever you haven't expressed or communicated, whatever is blocking you or keeping you down, is everything's just going and it's going to come out today. So, girl, let yourself say what you want to say. That's what Spirit says. Spirit says just speak it. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be free. Ooh, and then you've got the moon card as well coming out. And I just had a whole conversation with somebody about this moon, about how the moon used to be the earth and now it's not. So the moon is always trying to get its water back. Holistic Warrior Arts might know what I'm talking about because the person who told me that story is her sensei. So I'm not even going to try to say the story because I don't know the story. It's not my story to tell, but it was a beautiful story. But the moon is a lot about your emotions, just like that water card was. It's about all of those hidden things wanting to come out, about your feminine nature wanting to come out. So everything that you've been hiding, everything that you hold as sacred and dear to you, that you felt like you've had to suppress or keep safe, or keep hidden in order to keep safe, it's okay. All of these things are just gonna bust wide open now and be communicated and expressed and come out. Thanks for letting me read for you, Lauren. Deb, she says, you hit on the conflict. I've been juggling treatments, been more relaxed with myself. Yes. And it's hard when you're going through treatments as well because it's so much about your physical body that it's hard to like keep your vibration raised so that you're in your spiritual body. So just keep yourself in your emotions in a state of peace, in a state of trust in the universe, in a state of trust in yourself and what you're capable of. And everything, as long as you stay balanced in that heart space, all of that's going to just take care of itself. Who'd you have up for us, Vivi, a second ago? Millicent. Hello. Your son. I'm going to use both decks for you. And it's interesting because you would not believe, and some of them might even be on this live, you would not believe how many moms reach out to me because they can't get their sons specifically to move out of their house. It's just like there's a lot there. Okay. Well, the first card seems positive. How long has he been there, first off? Because I keep getting the number 7 coming to my mind as if it wants to say 7 months. But I also keep getting like a bunch of little hits. Like I could just keep drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and it wouldn't even end or matter here, which means that there's a lot of different messages around this. So with him, there's like specific healings that he needs around self-esteem. His solar plexus space is really lighting up for me. So he needs that self-esteem, that self-empowerment, that push there is what he needs, but from the inside out. He needs to be empowered to know that he can do this. Now, as a mom, that's difficult because we want to teach them that they are in a safe space, let them, because we are their safe space as a mom, and we don't want to just push them out there to where they feel unsafe or ungrounded, those sorts of things. But it is your place to be able to make boundaries. So if it comes to a place where we're like, okay, we're finding a job, we're going to get a house, you need to have a place or have a roommate by this particular date. I keep seeing the number 7. So even though this isn't very soon and you might want it sooner than this, I'm feeling like 7 months. So this actually is enough time to maybe help him get a little bit empowered, help him maybe get some self-esteem stuff with getting on the healing path or seeing a healer or a counselor or whatever that is to really help with that inner empowerment, and also pushing them towards, so he has a good job, good, and just pushing him towards those boundaries that you need. Now, if you want to contact me privately or have a session, we can talk about this, because I have worked through this with other moms who it's really more about boundaries. with them, not so much about the money, because really when it comes down to the tit for tat, it's not about the money, it's not about where they're going to live, it's just about power, control, self-esteem, and boundaries, just getting them where they need to be, even if you're the one who needs support in this. There's also been something coming up in the energies of everything lately that has to do with what's the word? Enabling. The word enabling has been coming up a lot lately. It's something that I've worked through with a couple of people just this week. And so that's what we're looking through. Now, let me show you these cards that I pulled for you. Again, another water card, but it's the 8 card, which is that infinity symbol. So this is your journey of discovery. And with your journey of self-discovery, this is where you get to let go. Okay? He's being taken care of by the universe. You're being taken care of the universe. Everybody just gets to let go. So this is coming up. This is the letting go card, the authenticity card. But I'm also getting a fire card. And this is a page of fire. So with this particular one, this is kind of like a baby fire. This isn't a huge fire. It's just a small one, a teeny tiny little small fire. That's that one. So this is enthusiastic action, adventurousness, going forth, beginning new projects. So overall, this looks really good for you. It looks like letting go, knowing everything's okay, and also a little bit of a push. There's some adventure happening there, some fire happening there. You pulled this card twice today. Awesome. So I think you're kind of being comforted that everything's okay here, that everything's taking its course. But that fire card is also showing us where maybe a little bit of a push is needed to light that fire, to get that adventure flowing. I keep seeing a grandmother come in, but not for you, for him. So I feel like all these energies that we're feeling, he's feeling them too. And so they're going to start coming in and working on his heart a little bit, specifically that sacral space. I'm seeing a lot coming up around that sacral space for lighting that fire. So a grandmother's here, and she's going to be coming in more and more and more now to kind of help soothe him, ease him out the door a little bit. Okay. Thank you, darling. I have Samantha standing here. And she's going to answer that last question about what the heck kind of energy is going on right now.
Oh, did I come at the perfect time? Hi, everybody.
Guys, this is Sammy. She's our Earth and Star astrologer. And she's going to, you're welcome, Millicent. I love you so much. And she's going to tell us all about what the heck these energies are and why everything's acting crazy right now.
It is. It is very much so. And I was saying to you earlier, and I was talking about it yesterday, how, of course, first and foremost, it's a Mercury retrograde. On top of that, we also have Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde. There's 5 planets retrograde right now. Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde. I might have forgotten the 5th one, but that's okay. That must not need to be talked about. But so we have a lot of things that are pushing energy inwards, which can make us feel like crazy. It makes us feel like things are bubbling up. Things are being brought to the surface, a lot of shadows, a lot of projections, a lot of rejected parts of ourselves, especially the things that we need to look at, but we don't want to look at, as that usually goes. So a lot of that energy is just kind of like boiling over. But within the grand scheme of things, specifically, we have Mars and Jupiter coming together, both in the sign of Gemini, which is self-explanatory if you know anything about Gemini energy.
I love Geminis. I'm sorry.
Which Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So it is that like crazy, quick, fast thinking and like kind of chaotic energy. And to have Mars, the planet of, you know, war and anger and our passion and our motivations, like in this sign that is somewhat... Sex. I wasn't going to say it.
I said it.
She said it.
She's
I said passions. That was like my PG way. But the Mars energy within that space, like it's very like short. It's a short fuse. It's an air energy, so it's not, like completely explosive, but it is very very fast moving and quick paced, and like we're up and we're down, we're here and we're there, we're that twin and on this side and that side, like a lot of that moody kind of, that two-faced Gemini energy within Mars, like, and not to call Gemini people
Is anyone out
two-faced,
here a
but
Gemini? Because
I'm not saying there's a difference between the zodiac's energy and the person experiencing that zodiac's energy. So just because your sign, Leo, says self-centered doesn't mean you're self-centered, but it means you have a push of energy to care about yourself. So there's a difference when I say those things as an astrologer.
I made a whole video about this. They will not be fooled. They know that Leo is not self-centered.
No, exactly. And honestly, there's the unevolved and evolved energy of everything. But Mars specifically being such a hot-headed, passionate planet, it is going to work a little differently in the sign of Gemini than it would, in a chiller space.
Laura says, sheesh. She's a Gemini moon.
Gemini moon. Okay. So that energy of, that quick kind of like I'm here and I'm there and I'm up and I'm down, and it's just realistic with how that energy works, which the good thing about that is you exist in many places. You're able to be the person that can flip that switch and turn it on when you need to. And you can also like bring this information over here because you were just in that space and now you're in this space, and you can kind of connect those dots a little better. So that energy has a purpose. I am not knocking it whatsoever. One of my best friends is a Gemini.
Can I press pause for 2 seconds on top of your mermaid?
No. Yes.
So Millicent here says that she's a Gemini sun.
Yes.
But she just asked a question about when she can get her son to move out of her house. He's 30 now.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we use that Gemini energy? Because her card said she's taken care of, everything's fine, there's going to be a change, but also fire, she's going to have to do a little bit of a push.
Yeah.
So how can she use that Gemini energy to flip that switch, like you said, and get that moving forward?
I kind of got the word patience, but not in a way of like just sitting and waiting, but like waiting for that moment to come.
The right moment.
Waiting for that spark to happen that needs to happen, not only for you, but for your son as well. It's definitely like right now is there's a lot of this divine timing happening, because what I was also going to say is we also have Saturn involved in these things. So there is this like slow burn and slow build underneath the surface of all this fast-paced things that we're feeling. We're feeling because Mars and Mercury, those are our local planets. Those are the planets we feel the quickest, and they kind of come and go a little quicker than the slow moving outer planets. So there's something under the surface behind the scenes still working itself out, is what that feels like to me. So it does require a little bit of patience on your end, but also that knowing when to make that move, when to maybe, have the conversation that you need to have, or, sometimes those situations, it's waiting for things to kind of like, I don't want to say explode in a bad way, but like waiting for it to reach that point, that boiling point, that point it has to get to for both you and him. Because he does have to want to be and do for himself as well. And it requires that balance, that patience, but also that spark.
But what you said makes so much sense, because I've been feeling that too. Like it feels like everything's going really fast and really chaotic, but then I know it's not time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just feeling like it's taking a lot of time.
Yes. And there's an impatience with specifically the Gemini energy. And then on top of that, Jupiter is the planet that expands things. It magnifies, it makes things feel bigger. Jupiter's our biggest planet. So within this Gemini realm, we have Jupiter like making it even bigger. So it kind of feels like it's like doubled, rather than just like, oh, if Mars was like traveling around doing this thing, and if Mercury wasn't being crazy, it's kind of that like bringing together of all these energies. And I know we had talked about it earlier, like everybody feels crazy right now. It's not just you, you're not alone. Everyone is having trouble sleeping and eating and doing their daily duties and keeping the mental health and the emotional health right and the physical health right. It is, but whatever it's bringing up for you is something that needs to be looked at truly within yourself. And not only in the sense of like what you are projecting out to the world, but what the world is kind of projecting back to you. But it's a lot of chaos energy, but there is that Saturn that's like slowly working something under the surface that we can't see the full picture of just yet. But with the good energy of that, Mars is a motivational energy. Mars is something that pushes us. It gives us courage. It gives us determination. Jupiter is this, wide perception, this big, it's to me, a very spiritual planet where it expands our wisdom, it expands our knowledge. It's that faith and that hope that we have to keep moving forward. And then Saturn is that planet that helps us like grow up and mature and lean into our responsibilities. So we can't only look at like the chaos that it's creating, we have to also take in like the energy we can use from that, which would be to, move forward. And I almost think of it as like, like a flower trying to grow in the mud kind of thing. It's like pushing through, it's dark, it's uncomfortable, it can't see, it's muddy, it's like sticky and stuck, and you feel like you'll never reach the surface. And then finally it like spouts, it gets that light, it gets that rain, it gets that water, but you kind of have to go through the mud a little bit first. And there's a lot of nutrients in this space, this container that we're growing in. So it's learning to balance both sides of that and knowing, the chaos and creation are happening all in one space. Gemini ascendant. What does a Gemini ascendant do for you? By two of everything, and I had twins. The ascendant is really just the way I see it, our view of the world and the way the world views us. So a lot of that like fast moving energy is probably a part of just your daily life, the way that you are with people, the way people are with you. Trying to think. And honestly, you're probably anyone with like a lot of Gemini is feeling this more personally. Anybody with a lot of Gemini or even Pisces, because Pisces is where Saturn is sitting. So a lot of y'all are probably feeling things double time, feeling it a little deeper, especially if it's your ascendant, because that means these planets are moving through your first house, which is showing up very directly within your life. Was trying to think like Geminis, Libras, Pisces, Aries, any of those energies are feeling things a bit more. Whether it's your sun, moon, your rising, or anything. Stop making noises. She's like making the tiniest little noises. I know y'all can't even hear it.
It's because she named off
everyone that's going through stuff
of the energies that through past male relationships we don't date them. We're not going to date a Gemini male. We're not going to date an Aries male. We're not going to date a Libra male. Nothing personal, but like for Leo, in our personal past experience, it just didn't work. They were heartbreaking for us. So she named each of them.
I would still love them, but
oh yeah, we'd absolutely love them. We would be in love with them, but they would break our hearts into shattered little pieces. So what is quick question? What about Pluto? What is Pluto? You mentioned Sat Daddy.
Pluto is retrograde. So that specifically was where I was saying a lot of the shadows, a lot of like the darker kind of things, because Pluto, of course, is the planet of, like death and destruction, they say. I love Pluto personally. That's in my first house. So I love that chaos energy. But it takes a lot of like looking inward to be able to face the fears and the dark spaces and the things that, you know, we kind of shove down and hide and don't want to look at. But it's also a space of like regeneration, and it's going to help transform. It's going to help move stuff. So with that being retrograde, it's what a retrograde really is. From our viewpoint, it looks like a planet is moving backwards in the sky, just because the different orbits that Earth has compared to the other planets. It's not actually moving backwards, but from our viewpoint, it looks like it is. So with retrogrades, it's this back step that we're taking. That's why they say like a lot of people from the past may come up, or to pay attention to details and things, you know, that you're doing, because it kind of makes you take a step back and pause. It's literally like hitting that pause on a planet. And it's like, wait, what have you learned from that last retrograde? Because, like, fun news, guys, the planets do this every year. Nobody knows about it, but every summer specifically, we usually always have about 5 planets going retrograde during the summer specifically. That's why I think Leos are a little whatever
Beautiful,
that means.
wonderful,
Yes, beautiful,
amazing,
perfect beings.
evolved.
That's actually, I said that the other day. I was like, I think that's why Cancer or Gemini, Cancer, and Leos are like a little chaotic sometimes, because we're born with retrograde planets in our charts, in our birth charts. So we have a lot of this like internal stuff that we've got going on. But typically, like, Mercury retrograde, it happens like every, you know, couple of months. Like, the planets are always doing this dance. We just don't always pay attention to it. So when things like a big full moon are happening, which is obviously our closest local, it's not really a planet,
Celestial
it's like
body.
celestial body. That one obviously affects us a lot, because the moon is like our friend. Like, the moon is our homie that flies around us. So we feel it a lot. So when things like that happen, everything else feels amplified. But we always have retrogrades happening. And the bigger planet, or the further out planets, take longer to retrograde. Like Pluto, it's about like 6 months. It's retrograding half of the year, and we just never talk about it. But
we're dying half of the year internally.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel that.
I felt that.
So what I'm hearing is that everything outside of us is moving really, really slow towards a divine timing, but everything inside is going really, really, really fast. So we feel like this push to do things, even though it's not time to do them yet.
Yes. Yes.
That's why you guys are crazy right now.
Yes. And I mean, I'm always big on, you know, we pay attention to the planets because it's a cycle. So it can help us understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, we are our own beings with our own free will. You will know when it is time to move, or the universe will move you. So, you know, don't rush yourself or feel like you're running out of time, or feel like you're going to miss some opportunity, because the divine timing will play out as it needs to. Now, there might be things you need to do inwardly and work through inwardly, but during retrograde processes and moments like this, it's kind of good to like pump the brakes as much as you can, wait till the chaotic energy, you know, moves forward, unless you're into chaotic energy, and then like use it up and be crazy. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Give me a Sag. We got a Sag in here.
Like, some of us, like me personally, I work really well in chaos. Like, you know this. Like, I love to act really stressed about it, but I shine in chaos. I'm like, all right, it's time. Like, you know, so some of us are meant to work in that chaos, and some of us are meant to like slow down and like breathe and calm down a little bit. So it's all about you, of course, your personal chart. You would have to look where things are affecting you personally, how it's affecting your specific planets. But collectively, there's this under the surface that is, you know, making things move for specific reasons. Like, it's all a game of little chess, and we just don't know that we're playing it. So, yeah, there is a blue moon coming up Monday. That'll be in Aquarius, even though, well, it's Leo season. So we have the Aquarius moon, full moon during Leo season, but which I just talked about today, that it's I always knew blue moons to be that you have 2 full moons in the same month. But I just learned today, I've been doing astrology 18 years and I just learned something today again. But it's actually because we have 2 or an extra full moon within this season. So that is why it is a blue moon, and it'll be a super moon because it'll be sitting very, very close to us. So it's going to look very big, very bright. Like you can almost touch it or like take a bite out of it or whatever you're into. That's what I would do. I would bite the moon. Yeah, she would lick it. Don't bite Saturn.
Thank you so much, Samantha,
You're
for
welcome.
telling us why we all feel crazy right now and explaining it in such a wonderful way. We have time for one more reading. Who's next? Who really, really wants a reading?
Who's the next victim? No, just kidding. Sorry. Do you want your cards?
We'll see who pops up on the screen and we'll decide which deck they're getting pulled from. Because we just did Millicent, we did Deb. Was that everybody?
Oh, hi, people that said hi to
Chris.
me.
Oh, a lot of people said hi
I'm
to you.
so sorry. I did not see that. Hi.
Chris. Of course, we have earthy energy coming out because he's a man.
Oh, I was going to
He's
say.
grounded.
Everyone needs it.
Not because he's a man, because he's grounded and he needs it. And foundations. So pull one card out of that deck for old Chris here.
I guess that one split off.
This one opened up for you again. Will you put that door behind you, baby? Yeah. Thank you. So this one came out again, the in the hand, being held in the hand card. So whatever it is you're going through, Chris, it's all part of the plan. It's part of the process. Everything's going to be okay. And on top of that, we pulled the 5 of Earth. And the 5 of Earth is about illusion. It's a lot of the time when we pull the 5 of Earth, it's because we have had some sort of mind process that something bad is happening, that we're living in scarcity or things like that, trouble moving forward. So this is a mindset. How you move forward is changing your mindset. One, I'm seeing you trust in the universe, in God, in yourself. Have some self-trust to know that you're capable of doing whatever needs to be done here, releasing the attachment to the results. Okay. And then this is telling you that whatever you think is happening is not actually happening. You're looking at this through your scope and your lens of your personal experiences and trauma. So you have to, in order to move forward, you're being asked to let go of this thought process, whatever it is. And you know what it is because you know what you're going through. So just listen to what your mind tells you. Is your mind telling you everything is horrible? Is your mind telling you I am alone? Is your mind telling you I can't keep going like this? This is unsustainable. Whatever your mind is telling you, just know that it's not real. Bring yourself back into trust, self-trust, heart home, alignment with the universe, and let that be that. Okay, Chris? You got this, dude. You also have a guidance team behind you. You can pull up Lyra's, that's fine. You also have a guidance team behind you. Someone's coming in to help you. This is an ancestor or a family member. So you are not alone. You're very, very supported. You're very, very connected. And your ancestor is actually asking you to use your ancestral gifts as well. You have ancestral gifts that you've received through your lineage, and connect into what that looks like. So if you've done ancestral healing, you kind of know what some of those gifts are. And if you haven't, then try to connect in with your own DNA through journey work or meditation and find what strength is there and how you can push through. We have 1 minute. Thank you for letting us read you, Chris. We have 1 minute. So we're looking at Lyra. The first one that I found is the Unmarked Trail, which is the Revelation card. You want to pull a card for her?
Okay.
With Lyra specifically, though, I feel like
There was
there's
two.
something coming up around star seeds, star seed energy. I'm seeing Pleiadian, Arcturian energy coming up with her. And then Sammy pulled these two cards for you. So the World and the Hierophant. Now this one came out when I'm thinking of these starseed energies, because I'm picking up like a couple of different starseed energies. So whatever's going on with you, even though I feel like it has to do with your personal health, like I feel like this is more of a health reading, tapping into your alien DNA and letting that become active in your life, opening up those portals of communication, that's really going to help overcome a lot of these health issues. And did you have a specific message about this one?
I got the word routine. So maybe kind of piggybacking off of that side of things. Maybe building more of a routine with your spiritual connection and actually setting aside time to, whether it's to meditate or to journey or to, read or whatever it is you do to kind of like connect in and tune in with that spiritual side of things. And even specifically with like the starseed stuff, I would say like push yourself out a little bit with meditation and stuff like that. Like, I think a lot of us are taught to like, ground and connect with earth. I think there was the World card. So there's a certain energy of connecting with earth, but do it on a cosmic level. Like, look at earth as like a whole, connect into like star system energy, connect in with like our sun or Sirius even, expand yourself a little bit and try to actually make it like a routine and a practice. And the more you do that, like the more it will keep expanding your energy. And then of course the synchronicities, the messages, anything your spirit guides have to bring to you will happen if you're dedicating actual time and setting aside time to listen to the messages that are being given to you.
Miss Penelope, we're running over our time here, but I do want to tell you, just because you were on the last one, and I think you might have been the last one to get a reading anyway, so I don't want to leave you out. But I'm picking up for you, basically your guides are saying just hold to your intention, the intention that you got during the last live, whatever that word was or those words were that you came to during the Lionsgate portal reading. Hold to that. And I'm seeing that everything else is going to start to come into fruition for you. So holding to that intention right now, you might be in a state of duality where there might be friction between you and family members, or between the spirituality and the physical side, just like with this other person that we did the reading for, that there's that friction there because of what everyone's going through. There's an internal change happening that's not quite ready to be displayed on the external. So that's creating that duality space. But if you just keep holding to that intention, keep that heart space open, everything's going to begin to align. Okay. So thank you, everybody who showed up today. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Vivi, for being with us as the moderator in the background. And don't forget to email her if you need something. Thank you, Sammy, you wonderful goddess, for coming in and giving us some info on the planets. And if you need to find her, therusticraven.net is where you can click in on that one and get yourself a spiritual reading if you want to. And everyone else, all of you beautiful, wonderful, darling people, goodbye. Until next live, where you will also tune in and say, welcome home.